welcome to a very special episode of the Luke and Lewis Show, number 18. We are joined by a special guest, Jordan Shanks from FriendlyJordies?
Or is it AKA FriendlyJordies?
From. Let's do from.
Oh, so
From
The beat really lays out those dead air points. That's it. It
Good.
helps so
That would have been
much.
such an awkward intro if we didn't have this going.
because you had to think about
the fourth star.
Yeah, it really is. It smooths over any awkward interaction. Like, really what I want is if I go to the movie cinema and they go, oh, enjoy the movie, and then I went, thanks, you too. That would fix that awkward interaction. I'd be like, thank fuck we had the intro music.
So
that'd be weird.
We call this Radio Mic 2.0 because we automated our radio panel operator's job. So we no longer need him. So now it's a technical version. Now,
But he's still here, and he's just kind of an animal in the zoo at this point.
No,
really have
he just like doing his own thing.
He's still around.
We love him. We're still good friends with him, but like
He's one of the
he's here for
first.
amusement now.
No, he's an occasional guest.
He was always for my amusement.
He was
I never
always
really
there
liked
for
what he brought to
amusement.
the show. I just enjoyed making fun of him.
Now,
He's
Mike's actually started a band. I
Yeah.
think he's having a midlife, but really early.
really early midlife crisis.
So classically behind the scenes radio guy. isn't
Actually,
it?
I can't. We
What
didn't
am I
have
doing?
Mike back on to talk about the band.
Yeah, we will.
Don't help him out at all.
But Jordan, you're in Melbourne for the week because you got shows each weekend and you've poorly booked a tour and we're very thankful for that so you can join us.
No worries. Thank you for giving me something to do in 5 days.
Yeah.
I was-
what are you
That's
going to
good.
do here?
Yeah, I don't know. I've walked past that Gucci store so many times and be like, I'm not well dressed enough to walk in there.
Yeah, that's what I do. I get intimidated. Now, this is the first podcast where we're on trackies. Now, I didn't realize
yeah,
we were
it
doing
is.
this one with you today. So, like, I just thought we were doing a regular one. I was going to come in, flex on Lewis, because if you don't know, I'm an athlete now. I don't go to the gym. The world is my gym, and I'm now a fitness influencer on Instagram. It's a new thing I've started, and I'm aspiring in...
So you think like walking is parkour? Is that?
Yeah, essentially. So, like,
was started
I'm
because-
inspiring a generation.
It was started because
Essentially.
we
Yeah, that's
posted
what
a
I'm doing.
You're a
photo
patriot.
Yeah.
with our tops off, and everyone thought Luke looked like shit next to me.
So we got
He got body shamed into starting a fitness
We
journey.
have a sponsor on this podcast, Nobby Underwear. So we posted a photo in the underwear. A lot of people started bullying me in the comment section, saying that I
Which
have
is
a
great.
dad bod. And there's nothing like a bit of online bullying to get you back into it.
So
people say
motivated you into
Oh,
it.
dude, people
For
say body
sure.
shaming
Yes.
doesn't work.
Oh my
Try
God.
being body
Take
shamed.
that, Woman's Weekly. Yes, amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
so what are you
So
doing now?
I
What's
went to
it?
Perth. This has only been a week. I went to Perth. I ran 8 kilometers the first day I was there, then 10 kilometers the next. So I'm like a former runner. So I do have quite a good base
I
fitness.
like that you've only just started adding in former. You used to be like, I'm a runner, I'm
Yeah.
a professional runner, I run heaps. But
No, but
now you've put in
Give
former.
it 2 weeks, and I'm going to start calling myself a runner again.
Okay.
you can
Peak
you can
athlete.
come and go from the sport. It's whether or
yeah.
not you're currently participating in it.
Okay.
He's got you there, Luke.
Yeah, and
True.
I was hitting those public workout stations like a dickhead along like the Esplanade at Perth.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah,
It's a very
man.
dickheady thing to do. I've
Yeah,
gotta
and
say.
I was
no
like,
offense.
and I,
it's
no
a
offense
dickheady
taken.
thing.
Yeah,
For
you were the
sure.
one that brought it up. Sorry.
Those things
I'm
anyway.
the one who's literally starting a movement dedicated to using that. Do you need people? So by the way,
Dickhead fitness.
no, it's called the Luke Kidgel School of Fitness,
Effect, yeah.
aka the Dickhead School of Fitness. Now, do you know how many people during the week? I didn't really think. I didn't know it would take off. Obviously, I knew it was a great idea. Didn't know how many people I was going to be inspiring. I reckon I received 8 confirmation receipts of people cancelling their gym memberships because they were like, fuck it, man, you're right. The world's our gym. I don't need to pay $15 a month because Lewis pays $15 a month like a dickhead.
I paid $10 a week,
Okay.
which is more than
That's
$15
more than
a month.
$15
I
a
tried
month.
to defend myself there. That's $40 a month.
Yeah. So he's one of those classic, you could say, bows into social
Gym
norms.
junkies, alpha male,
No one's
Great
saying that.
rig, incredibly strong.
And I'm
Could
more
definitely beat Luke in a fight.
No, I'm more
1.3 times stronger than the average male.
I'm more of
human
like a
silverback gorilla.
Yeah. I'm more of like I exercise like a
beta.
13-year-old boy. I do push-ups, sit-ups, like I go for runs. I have a punching bag at my house, hit that.
You know
I
when-
don't have really any boxing training. I just go ham.
It's like, when you were 14 in high school and you wanted abs, so you're just like, oh, I'm just going to do sit-ups.
Yeah.
Luke hasn't progressed from that school
And
of
clearly-
You
porn.
haven't, have you? You've just
And you
read
know what?
one zoo magazine. And that's it.
No, I read that in K-Zone, dude. Fucking hell.
Are you into fitness at all?
Yeah, well, hugely, but in a very I would imagine just 40-year-old rich housewife sort of way.
So do you hit the gym or do you just play tennis?
No, I
Aerobics.
have a DVD of someone sitting there just being like, and now we're going to do the rotary.
See,
And
that's in between both of us. So I'm very like, the world's our gym, guys. Get out there, get amongst it. I'm trying to start a movement, right? And I am, by the way. We're going
have.
strong.
It's
I have.
moving.
Do you know how
It's
many
a
people?
fact.
Like, you are correct. It's a fact. Like, people are like legitimately quitting their gyms.
But here's the thing, though. Yes, they're quitting their gym.
I'll read a
but
few
are they
DMs.
also working out, or are they just leaving the gym? Like, you're so right, Luke. I will quit the gym,
Yeah.
and then it's just the same shit as when they joined the gym. They joined the gym, but they didn't fucking go, did they?
No.
So now they're going to quit, and they're not going to go out into the world and do fitness either.
Here's one I got from Alicia during the week. See, this is the problem. I was like, quit gym, do it yourself. That was my motivation. That was like my mentality. A lot of people have taken my my method quite loosely, and Alicia sent in, honestly, I think I'm going to quit just swimming. She's like, who needs that when you got the world? I don't mean quit local sport that you're participating in.
I think I know what's happened. What's happened is everyone saw your shit rig and were like, you know what? I think I'll have one of those too. And they've just stopped doing everything.
The whole point
It's
is,
like the modern equivalent of choose life. You've just made it quit life.
oh, well. Anyway, I'm starting.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So you just follow a DVD.
That's what I do. There's 12 different ones of it. Sometimes it's yoga, sometimes it's Pilates, and you confuse your body. I have the same. Basically, every time I see that, that is my main aim in life, is to just be a male MILF. I just want to be a hot 40-year-old.
So did you like back in the day wake up at 6 a.m. before Thunderbirds started to watch the aerobics women working
That
out?
inspired me. Yeah, that
love
was
that.
my you. Yeah, that's how. It started like that.
Because I just woke up for Thunderbirds. I was like, I don't need that 5:30 a.m.
No, you watch the
pre-workout.
chicks in the unitards, and then you watch Cheese TV, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden you're a male MILF, just like Caitlyn Jenner.
Now, Jordan. So, how's the show's been going? You're touring the new show.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's going along swimmingly, I've got to say, because this is just what we were discussing before. But it's
Are you
just
early or late into the tour now?
very late.
How many
this
shows
is the
have you
end.
done?
I'm done. Oh, I don't know. Look, this is going to sound pathetic to you guys, but it's just like, I've done the same show 50 times. Like, and then
That's
I just
heaps.
hear that you guys, but it sounds like you guys on average do 3 shows a night.
Well, like
Not
I did do that
shows.
on like in Perth. Like I was doing 3 shows, but at the same comedy club. So it's like not like I was, I was doing 15-minute spots. So I was doing I did 3 15-minute spots in a night. But then when we go on to our actual shows, we do the same. It's just like you do the same show like 30, 40 times, depending what festivals.
But are
and
you
stuff you do.
over it? That's the problem. Sorry, is this sounding
No, I
like
don't
therapy
get- I
now?
feel
isn't
like-
it? It's just being like,
I feel like
I've got
my
a really
show
good
gets-
life, but is it great?
I feel like my show gets better towards the end.
It does.
Yeah, so I just
Definitely.
by the end, I'm always like, now it's great, and I want to tour it more.
Yeah.
It's always like when you get to show 10, you're like, now the show's ready to tour, but you're like a third of the way in.
I feel like
And
every
the
year,
audiences are smaller because everyone's already seen it.
Yeah, no, but it's I don't know. I love it. I think it's the best part of what we do, because nice comments are like, yeah, whatever, but seeing them there and making them laugh and getting the feedback in real life is the best.
I don't know, pictures of stoned Hank Hill being like, sick content.
That's true. That's true. There's no
there's
memes when
one
you
or
look
two.
out in the audience, is there?
Now, I think what I wanted to, what's the right word? Mediate between you two. Now, there's no beef between you two, but there is a conflict of interest. Now, do you
Yes.
know?
Is there?
Yeah, I
didn't
do.
know.
Luke
Luke says it's not a beef. I do have a bit of a beef.
Okay, Lewis, it's beef to
okay.
Lewis.
It's
You
a
can
big
very
beef.
no,
confronting.
I bought a knife.
no. Okay, here's the thing.
Well, I'm really scared because I'm really far away from the CBD now. But anyway, let's-
Wait,
Why
you
we've taken you here? You might not leave. We can sort it out, but you may lose
like-
a couple of fingers.
We could have done this podcast at your hotel room. Instead, we're like, let's take him to the brothel capital of Melbourne to sort out some Warhammer beef. Now, if you don't know, Lewis, heavily into Warhammer. Absolutely
No.
so dorky. It's
Ever since I was 12
40K
years
or
old.
fantasy?
40K.
I already hate this.
Okay? No, you're the mediator.
And you have every right to as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
I'm not throwing any accusations out there,
Okay.
but I get the vibe that you might be partaking in what is sacred to my culture as a meme, and I take offense, sir. Because Warhammer 40,000 is very important to me and my people, and I feel like you've come into this for a little bit of a laugh, and you're not actually going to bankrupt yourself like a true Warhammer fan.
a little bit of backstory. For those who don't know, Jordan makes Warhammer videos on the internet. Now, do you do it as a meme? Because, by the way, I don't watch them. You know why? Because Warhammer sucks.
you're a normal human
and
being.
you guys are both boring, right? I love your videos. They're the only ones I don't watch.
Look, all I'm saying is,
There's always one person in a circle of male friends that is like deeply offended by Warhammer.
I don't care.
And it's always the most easygoing guy in your circle of friends. But that thing, for some reason,
let me tell you how into it I am.
It doesn't rub me the wrong way. It just like...
it seems to.
No, it's just like, God, you guys are boring.
Luke just hates anything different.
I'm too busy working out, man. I've
got full
getting yoked.
armies. I got all the paints. I've painted them all. And
What
I'm
armies?
Gene Stealer cults, orcs, and a little bit of Space Marines. I'm so into it, Jordan.
Is it set in Middle Earth? How can they have orcs?
bloody pleb?
Dude,
Disgusting.
this is the worst mediation ever.
Yeah,
What is this?
they've got space orcs.
Okay.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
they just put
Duh.
space in front of it.
Right. Oh, so this is like a galactic war that's happening.
Yeah, in the year 40,000. It's in the name. I'm so into it
Yeah,
that I've read
Luke.
about 30 books, like books about the history and the backstory of it.
One of those Star Wars books that you get from the...
like those expanded universe
So
books.
how
for
into it are
Warhammer.
you?
Look, I'm going to admit something here right now. You can put that, that stamp exposed thing, and I deserve the beating. You're right. I just encroached it on your world for the views.
I knew it was for the meme. I fucking knew it. Because I watched the video and I was like, oh, he likes Warhammer 2. And I saw all the shit you were saying and I was like, he doesn't know what he's saying. He's got no idea what he's saying.
Oh, it's almost like everything I put out on the internet. I'm back on Team Jordan.
I would say that your Warhammer videos are the first bit of content you've done that's not well researched.
Actually, I am a bachelor
The wrong
expert.
way.
I am a bachelor expert, actually. So, like, that's the only thing I'll really break down on my YouTube channel is The Bachelor. But I'm the first person to ask. If you want to know who's going home, Abby or Chelsea, I'll ask. You
Luke
know?
knows.
Yeah.
And
Chelsea.
you'll call it.
I called it early, episode 1. Chelsea's going to win.
Wait, can
I'm getting
we
a phone
bet
call.
on it? Can we
Huh?
bet on it? We should put a Luke and Lewis bet on who wins.
Now, I did know, so obviously they're already up. I think it's the finale this week on The Bachelor,
Oh, so it's
right?
probably too late to bet.
No, we can bet now. Well, I don't know who's going to win. So I did know in April, I found out of an anonymous source that Chelsea does make the top 3.
And you haven't bet?
Well, I should have bet that she made the top 3, I guess. Can you
Yeah.
bet on that?
I don't know.
No, here's the thing. Sportsbet fucked up last year because the Honey Badger didn't choose anyone at the end, and they refunded all bets. They lost
Yeah.
so much money. Well, I guess didn't lose money. I guess they would have.
That's like the KSI
Wait.
Logan Paul fight.
Did they lose money?
If a fight results in a draw,
Yeah.
everyone who bet on one or the other gets their money back. My mate bet on a draw because he thought they were going to scam it to do a second event. Turns out it was real, they think. But he won so much fucking money off like a meme bet
Right.
because it actually was
That's
a draw.
Yeah.
off.
See, I think I'm
Yeah.
not sure if
And there was logic behind it as well. I'll
Yeah.
pay that.
I mean,
Should
I
be in
thought
the
that.
stock market.
Yeah.
That guy called it.
I know.
I mean, it's not hard to read YouTube beef. Like,
Yeah.
that's what he was doing.
Yeah,
He was
fair.
like, oh, geez, there's a lot of money in this. They should do it again.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
And also-
they really orchestrate that shit. I probably shouldn't be saying it, but a
course
few
they
days
do.
a few days before the KSI Logan Paul rematch was posted and announced, it was put in like KSI put it into a bunch of group Twitter DMs with all of the YouTube commentators. They're all in it together.
Yes.
KSI goes, this is happening in 3 days. Keep it under wraps, but get your videos ready. And then everyone pre-films their KSI Logan Paul thing and put it up the minute KSI tweets it out. All this YouTube beef is
Incredible.
fake.
But no, I think they do hate each other.
Oh,
I get
maybe.
legitimate vibes. I watched a little bit of Logan's podcast talking about it, and I think I would hate him too. I don't think KSI seems like a nice guy. I think I like Logan Paul more than KSI.
I think
Logan Paul's
and
kind of
KSI
self-aware now.
Might be real, but I'm saying like all the commentators in YouTube that partake in the beef and make all the videos about everyone, all of the vloggers have worked out that it just makes them more money, so they just feed them.
How much YouTube
What an
drama do you
incredible
follow?
mafia.
Are you in on all this stuff? Or?
Well, I mean, how could you not
Yeah.
when it comes to KSI and Logan?
You don't often do videos about like what's trending, like like the YouTube culture. I don't either. I did for a bit and I stopped because I couldn't be bothered to keep up. So like, do you ingrain
you're in on
yourself?
this.
Lewis definitely does because you do like.
I'm just
review and-
fascinated by just the culture of it.
So how into it do you get?
None.
None
at all.
Yeah, you pulled out like a slide phone before. You like Jordan doesn't have a smartphone, so you like just like a guy.
Hey, it's got a Facebook app on it that I don't know how to work.
I'm honestly jealous.
No,
I
I'm
think
impressed.
that's great.
I think it's cool.
The bane of
thanks,
my
guys.
existence is posting.
Yeah,
And it is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, look, there's a lot of great things about being a YouTuber, but having to constantly be on YouTube is kind of dirty because it's kind of this thing of like you could sit there and watch an entire week of YouTube go by and not go outside. So it's essentially a digital ice. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
I think that
that's so fucking grim when you put it like that.
Yeah.
But it's really also
it's
true.
Though I know a lot of people.
Except no, there's never a guy at a train station like, oh mate, can you watch my videos? There's no
got a hotspot,
guy
Trey?
like,
Can you
You
watch
got a
my videos?
hotspot?
But yeah, like, do you have a charger?
he's never like, oh, like, comment and subscribe. Like he's
Actually, I saw that in fucking New York because they have so many homeless people. They have like the charging stands in the city. So all these homeless people walk up and they plug their phone into the charging thing and then they sit on the ground, wait for their phone to charge. And then it just asks for money while they charge their phone from like the public use box thing. Didn't you see them?
But if they can afford a phone,
Yeah, what's going on there?
I don't know.
No, phones are really, you can
Phones
go
are
into
cheap.
Paddy's
You can
Markets
get
and
a
get one
phone,
for a
yeah.
shirt.
And also like I've seen homeless people in Australia, but you haven't seen like homeless until you go to America.
have you been to the States?
Oh, yeah.
Do
It's
you
I've
like
been.
it?
It was
No,
shocking.
Uh,
I hate it.
Is it? Do you? What do you prefer, New York or LA? Obviously,
Does anyone prefer LA?
no,
LA's a
you're
whole.
right. Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
just-
LA's a whole.
exactly. Yeah. Maybe the absolute elite of LA actually like LA. Maybe.
Yeah.
But even then, I think it's just like the elite of Brazil that never actually like walk on the ground and just helicopter pad lift their kids from building to building. I reckon it's
definitely see the appeal of you're going there for maybe 5 years to live that lifestyle of Hollywood, and you're in the business and you're making a lot of money. I definitely see how you can get caught up in maybe even convincing yourself briefly that, oh, this is
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah,
But I
LA's
think
great. Just
everyone
this
would.
warehouse for an entire city.
Yeah. But like, that's actually so spot on. Like, it's actually like industrial. Like you
It
go
is
to LA
how?
and like
Yeah.
you're in like Venice Beach and you see it like on the postcard, and then if they just had to flip the tripod around, it's just like taking a photo of
Factories
like
and
this
car parks.
warehouse, like a
Yeah.
brothel in the background.
It's not good.
Yeah.
So what, you guys have spent time there?
No, I
I
only
went
spent
to
like 5 days.
this year.
there,
I
and
went
that was
to
enough.
New York for 2 weeks and LA for 2 weeks. I
Yeah.
loved New York. I really liked it.
Yeah,
I-
that's a nice one.
yeah. But LA, I didn't like. Like New York, I could picture myself living there and working out what I would do every day. In LA, I couldn't actually understand like what I would do every day if I was there because it was just like car parks and homeless
The
people
reason-
Yeah.
and driving.
Do you know, like, you guys have seen the movie Blade Runner, right?
Yeah.
And you know that establishing shot where they're just like, LA 2019.
Yeah.
It's worse than that. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
At
It
least that
is.
was epically dystopic.
Yeah.
It's just dystopic.
It's just
Yeah.
shit. Like no, it's just dirty. It's not dystopic. It's just like
Man, I went to
I remember flying in on the plane and they were like, all right, prepare for landing. And then like I was
Yeah.
flying into LAX and I looked out of the window and I was like, I think they fucked it. I was like, I think
You're
they've
expecting
overdone
a
it.
city,
I don't
right?
know. I was just expecting not a desert. Because
Yeah.
from the air, LA just looks like industrial, then immediately desert. Because like between, I don't know, I've never been, but I think between LA and Las Vegas is just a desert that you drive 3 hours between.
Yep.
So from the plane, I was just like, this is barren.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
Humans shouldn't live there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just wanted to like do a 15-hour detour back to Melbourne. I was
Yeah.
like, this sucks.
And it's great. Like, they're homeless people. It's crazy, like, how homeless they are. Like, in Australia, if I was homeless, Centrelink, government support, you could get out of it. I don't know how the fuck you would get out of being homeless.
Oh, yeah. Like,
there.
they have like tent cities.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
I went to
Before
Skid Row, and it was like a whole, like, maybe 800 meters of tents.
Yeah, you're
Just
kind of
homeless
right,
people.
actually. I remember that as well. And I even remember going there and being like, legitimately thinking this. Would I rather be homeless in LA or Bangkok?
Yeah.
Wow.
That says a lot, doesn't
Yes.
it? Like, this is supposed
Yeah.
to be one of the epicenters of power and money in the world.
Well, that's
and you're
why
like,
there's-
maybe being in a third world would be better. I don't
It's
know.
because the top is so much more elite than anywhere else, so therefore the bottom is so much worse than anywhere else. The difference
Disparity of wealth is crazy.
that is the right term. But I don't read, so I don't know how to describe things.
I read that in one of my 20 Warhammer
Top of
novels.
the-
Yeah. I was like, you know, like the bottom, and then like there's like a top,
Big money, little money.
and there's like cent dollars. You know, you guys get it?
economy.
Guys, I'm a hunk of meat. Trust me, once I get out there back in the world for another 3 weeks, I won't need to have a brain anyway. I'll just be like an Instagram influencer. I'll be selling you guys fucking tea down your throats. I don't need to articulate wealth in LA, okay?
Funny.
Just take Lewis's hat, put it on backwards, you're there.
Yeah.
There you go. Before you came on the podcast, Luke was like, "Oh, but I don't really know anything about politics. So is it going to be good?" I was like, "You can talk about not
No, so, like,
politicians."
often, here's the thing. So my
do you
friends
mean,
are.
here's the thing?
A lot of my
Okay.
friends will be like really psyched that like you are on this podcast, right? Because they're like, man, they love your videos and stuff. My favorite videos of yours is like the one about Splendor. I was like, oh, I know Triple J. Like I like the shit where you're just taking the piss out of like
Something.
anything, like
Yeah.
like anything, right?
Right.
And like that's why I really like the one you where your team made you drink their bath water and they pretended it was Belle Delphine's.
That
is
you're on
my
board with
level of
that.
comedy.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
like-
all right.
You know, I
and then as
have-
soon as you see a picture of someone with grey hair and glasses, you're like, oh, this is a shit one, move on to the next one.
Yeah, yeah.
I have her actual.
But like the one like
No, you don't, do you?
Yeah, I do. I bought it.
Have you opened it?
No, I haven't opened it.
why haven't you done the video on it yet?
Because
Because it just
her
became
Instagram
unrelevant.
got deleted and now she's really irrelevant. I think I'm one of the only people that have like the legit Bell's bathwater. I bought it the
so
second
are we
I
going to
saw
do
it.
an unboxing? Oh, this is
Yeah,
definitely
of course
a clip.
we are. How did you not do this before? How long have you had this?
I've had it. Well, but it took fucking weeks
No,
for
they
it to
took
get
so long to
to.
ship it out that it just the internet moved
So
on.
I was
and then
like,
he received it.
I'll open the real thing. I didn't have the idea like everyone else did to just Photoshop the label and put it on a glass of water like everybody else did. I waited for the real thing, and I have her bath. This is her bath water. I might be the only YouTuber.
Such an honest man.
I might be the only person on the internet who actually got her bathwater in time and didn't come in it or something.
So what are you going to do in it?
I don't know. I don't. That's
Well,
the thing.
can we
'cause
look
got,
at it?
She got. Well, I don't know. She got deleted from Instagram, so now she's like not a trending topic at all. So I was thinking of doing a video
Her
when she comes
Instagram,
back.
like I reviewed it on my podcast, it was like borderline soft porn. Like it was so close
yeah.
to her actual clit being on it. Like it was a lot of vagina, but there's some post where she just draws a line.
Vagina cleavage.
Yes, that's what Lewis described it as. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so close to being pornographic. It was actually surprising.
I can't believe my question was, oh, why'd it get deleted?
And I've got shit like, and I've got shit on my Instagram. I've had shit pulled down where to promote my tambourine tour, I did one, you know, the 10-year challenge everyone was doing?
Yeah.
Found a picture when I was a kid where I was just standing there naked, whatever, with something covering me.
Mm-hmm.
So I did one with the 10-year challenge came where I was naked with my tambourine covering my genitals. Instagram took it down. There was no like hip. It was from hip to hip. My tambourine covered
It wasn't
pretty
that
much
bad.
everything. Like it was, I would have been more exposed in underwear on Instagram, and I like that you're looking
Why
at
were
my.
they so offended
You
by that? Yeah, I was just being
stared
like,
at
how
my
big's
dick for
that
10
bulge?
seconds, then going like, would I be offended by this? Would you like me to get it out?
Genuinely wondering as well.
All right.
But yeah, how crazy
Is
is
it
that?
worth it? Yeah.
But like, those girls go for ages without getting taken down. And I just like uploaded a picture with a tambourine covering my nuts, and someone must have reported it. I don't know.
Authentic memorabilia.
Lewis
See, no one else. I think this is the teller. If it has this sticker, it's legit.
Should we give context for the people
Please,
who
can
are
I touch
completely
that?
under a rock?
You can't open it. No,
I'm
don't
not going to
open
open
it.
it, and you shouldn't as well.
Yeah, I feel like that's a
You
relic.
shouldn't, because it's a girl's bathwater.
Yeah, but look, it came with like, it's pretty legit. Oh, I got stickers too. What? I got Belle Delphine stickers.
You know what else? You can tell that this actually is bathwater.
Yeah,
That's
Because
the
it's got like
disturbing
little bits
part.
of soap in it.
Yeah.
It's murky.
Yeah,
See, for all you guys who faked it out there, I got the real deal, and look what it got me. Nothing. I can't do a video on it. We're gonna put this out 6 months after the meme's
She doesn't
dead.
have the packaging on it. Oh, it does on
Yeah.
the top. Oh. I feel perverted holding it.
It is weird.
Well, that's
isn't
the
it?
point.
That's
Yep.
kind of the point.
Yeah.
But there's no non-perverted way to buy that.
No.
There was no other intention. So it's not like, it's not memorabilia. So that's the
Well,
there
no,
was,
it
was
is
only,
according to the
Well, yeah,
sticker
that's
on
supposed to be for
there. It
memories.
is
That's the
memorabilia.
whole point, Luke. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you remember what? That time you watched her splash around in the bath on your Instagram. Oh,
Those
what
were
a
good
memory.
times. Yeah.
I gotta say, it's
We're all young and innocent.
I think she's genius. She really got meme culture. Like because I'll drink your bath water just to hold your hand. Like that was such a meme, and all it took was for one like Instagram girl to actually sell her bath water. And look, we're still talking about it.
Yeah,
I think
fuck.
she's a
It's
genius.
brilliant. No, she
Yeah.
definitely is. No, she's very entrepreneurial in a terrifying way. And the greatest thing about it is she is one of those moments where you just think about when Al Gore was approving the net and the Pentagon thought this is going to change the world, and it's just one of those moments of like they were not thinking this is how it was going to go down.
The internet.
There was
Yeah.
no imagination of that.
Yeah,
Someone
true.
having tea with a dead octopus.
Isn't that funny that the internet, like what we're doing now, was just a military operation?
Yeah.
And now we're just talking about some girl's bath water that we bought using it.
Yeah, true.
And now
They
we're talking
invented
about
the
it.
internet, wasn't it part of, like, didn't NASA come up with the internet? Or
I
like
thought it was
Wi-Fi?
the military.
Yeah, it was the military.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, wasn't Wi-Fi invented by Australians?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did we invent that? Why were we like, put it in your house, everyone gets it?
Might have just been a coincidence.
Is it because we're just
I
so
think-
far apart? We're like, oh, we need it in the lounge room
Well,
and the
internet
kitchen.
came before Wi-Fi.
Yes, but why were we like fuck plugging
know.
it in?
You know what? It's amazing. It is. It's
Fuck
he
plugging
has
it
this
in, mate.
uncanny ability. I got to commend you for this, Luke. This is amazing.
Yeah.
For somebody who doesn't read, you kind of just gamble your way through life.
Yeah.
And you kind of win.
Didn't this
You pretty much got it right.
I'm like, I've got an audience online, and a lot of my comments are like, man, sometimes I need subtitles to watch your shit, but I understand everything you say. And, but you know what? Some
don't
people
need language.
go from A to B. I'm like,
Yeah.
let's take the long way. You know, I'm just like, yeah.
Luke doesn't need subtitles. He needs subtitles that say what he's trying to say.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
Luke might be talking about, Wi-Fi and shit, but then subtitles need to pop up and goes, this is what Luke's actually talking about and trying to say.
Sometimes though, I do put things in the most simplest terms.
Yeah.
Like, for
Yeah.
example, why? You might have been like, posed the question, for example, I wonder why Australians felt the need to expand the horizons of the World Wide Web, and I was
Sounds
like,
like me.
and I said, they were just like, fuck it, we need more, or whatever I said.
You don't even know what you said.
Forgot.
That proved your theory,
I've
didn't it?
moved
You
on.
needed those subtitles.
Yeah. See, we need those subtitles. What Luke was trying to say was what he just said
Guys,
before.
the point is, I nailed it before, but I'm not going to nail it the second time around because I'm already moved on.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm thinking about my next workout. All right, let's move on.
Amazing. Okay, so you're basically one of those kids in Minority Report that every now and then just shakes up and like stops a criminal.
Is that a
but like
movie
most of
or
the
a
time
book?
you kind of just
I don't know. Jordan's lost me.
you
as
know
well.
Minority Report.
No.
No.
I thought Lewis
You're not
would
a
be on
fan of
board
Tom Cruise.
here. No.
Not
Well, I
really.
think we've all learned something about the Luke and Lewis show.
Yeah.
Tom
We're
Cruise
not
is not invited.
Scientologists.
He'll jump on our couch.
Exposed. Yeah, you thought this was a Warhammer ploy, did you?
That's why he's into science fiction.
I was running away. You came 50 minutes out of the CBD, and we told you before we left, like, yeah, it's the brothel couple of Australia. And you're like, that sounds good. Let's go.
A lot of chicks to convert.
Yeah, and anyway, so going back to, I was concerned before this podcast that like, oh, maybe we're going to start talking about politics and stuff because that's often what you talk about online. And I guess is that where you like playing? Is that because, I'm genuinely interested in The Bachelor. Are you actually interested in politics? Or is it the Warhammer thing? Oh, you can't admit this, can you?
It would be amazing if you got me on the politics one. But no, I am legitimately interested in it. But I think it's more that it's a love-hate relationship. And I think that the reason that I do it is because I think that somebody has to do it.
Well, I'm certainly not gonna. So, but if you want to know,
but you got The Bachelor covered, and that's fine.
And
Someone needs to cover that,
and I'll do Love
there's not
Island.
enough content on it.
If when Love Island comes out, I might even do The Bachelorette. Fucking.
And I think that is something that I think we can all agree with, which is that, you might like politics, you might like Warhammer. I mean, I might like politics. Sorry, not you.
No,
you'd like The Bachelor.
Yeah,
I think we could all agree Love Island is the convergent of all of those.
Yeah, the overarching thing of
there's a lot of politics in Love Island.
Oh, so
the amount
much.
of tits and
And
arse
they're
in
naked.
It. Lots of politics.
It actually is very political in the sense that nothing's getting done, and they're just kind of sitting in a house arguing,
and they're all dickheads.
Yeah,
they are.
Yeah.
It's so weird how addictive that show is. I can't watch The Bachelor, no offense, but as soon as this
I'm not offended.
That's my favourite show.
I watch it because it sucks dick. It's like the worst show on television. I mean, we sit there watching it, like, because like the videos I put up, I watch every episode, and we just watch it, pause it when we have something funny to say, then keep watching it.
You should do one.
It is the whole design of that show, though, right?
Oh, we should do one together this week.
I would like to
because,
do that.
So I'll just come to your hotel or whatever, and you'll find out. So you get 40 minutes in, right? And there's times where you're just sitting there in silence together. Lewis and I just sit there, and
they
Lewis
go for an hour.
Lewis starts going, "What the fuck are we doing?" And I'm like, he's like, "No, I get it. We're making comedy." And he just starts getting really angry, not at me, more at himself and the show. Like there's this.
I hit twice we've done an episode where we watch an hour, and both times at the 40-minute mark, I start having a crisis of like, why am I doing this with my life?
Yeah.
Like I can't like how much I love comedy and creating comedy starts to lose to how shit The Bachelor is, and it's like, why am I watching this garbage?
The girls,
the way you feel about Warhammer, is she original life cover?
Yeah, but like the girls, literally, like you said it in the last episode we did, they sit going, "Do you reckon she did this? Oh no, I think she's gonna do this." And you get like 4 minutes into the conversation about who kissed who at the cocktail party, and you get there and you sit there like, why am I investing my life in this drama that is actually not even real?
You can feel your brain rotting.
But I do not want to stop watching it. I need to know who
Reality
wins.
TV in a nutshell.
Yeah.
It is amazing. It makes you hate yourself, and that makes you like it more. I really don't understand. It's like it's like they've perfected Greek drama.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's Instagram, social media. People don't like it, and that's why everyone uses it.
So yeah, it is. It's just a slightly higher budget version of that. So yeah, all right. Challenge accepted. Because honestly, that is my favorite thing to do as well. Is to basically just sit there with a bunch of dudes, paying things out that aren't aimed at our demographic at all.
Okay, sorry to interrupt the audio version of the podcast, but Luke and I forgot to do a Nobby ad. We're just dropping Jordan off in the car. So he's in the back seat right now, and we're going to talk about how much we love Nobby underwear. Aren't they good, Luke?
Dude, nobby.com.au. Like, if you want a surprise package for your package, it's the way to go.
Hey, what are you guys laughing at? There's nothing funny about the great deals that you can get at nobby.com.au. The best underwear in the game. What do you reckon, Jordan?
Yeah, well, I've just heard about it now, and it's my favourite brand.
So, nobby.com.au, this podcast was sponsored by Nobby. Go and get it.
Hang on. Lewis, before we end this, we need to tell people, how do people get Nobby underwear? It's an easy subscription service for just $20 a month.
Just $20 a month, and that's as easy as it is. Jordan's actually buying them right now.
Yes.
He's so sold on the ads. Wait till you get home.
I don't want to go home. I want to go to Nobby.
Put your pants back on.
He's throwing his bonds out the window. Get rid of him. He's converted. Nobby.com.au. Get your underwear. $20 a month. They're great. Back to the podcast.
And that's actually that is a thing that I very much appreciated about your content, Lewis.
Thank you.
Because I do think that you're fighting the good fight on that front.
Trying to. I think you know.
Who's your most recent target? Like
Mine.
who you've done maybe multiple about?
Oh,
You don't target. I don't think you ever did target people.
If someone does something shady, I'll call them out, and if I see an opportunity to fuck over a media organization, I'll take it.
Yeah, right.
Because it's fun.
Yeah. And you are an expert at it. And I don't know how you keep getting away. You know what? I think it actually is just this. It's that you're not an expert at it and they're not an expert at their job. So it's kind of just like
it's not
game, set, match.
It's not really a testament to my skill. Like, I definitely jump on opportunities when I see them.
Yeah, you do that.
But this big secret is, guys, it's fucking easy. If you want to trick television, radio, whatever, it's easy as fuck. You just tell them a lie and they go, I believe it, and you're on TV.
And I like that we're kind of still like half employed by radio and stuff. Like we're still
but we're not doing journalism.
No.
You know, like I feel like if I was a journalist, I would honestly, if someone came to me with a story and they go, this happened to me, I would go, all right, thanks for your story. I'm going to ask 2 of the people that you talk to and find out if it's true. That's all. That's all you're going to do.
Just
if
the slightest
any one of the
background
people
check.
that I tricked was like, thanks for telling me, I'm going to ask 1 other person. All they had to do was that, and they would have caught me, but none of them did.
The best example of you just like seizing an opportunity was one day we were walking together at Sydney Harbour, and you're going to have to remind me of what the news website was.
Rebel Media.
So it was, you recognise...
That's right. I remember this one. Sorry. But
Now, because I don't, I live under my little Bachelor Love
you were
Island
there,
bubble.
that's right.
Yeah. You were like, oh, that's Rebel Media. And I was like the sports store? I was like, are they advertising sport equipment? Like, what is that? And then you explained to me, and then I was like, all right, so do you reckon you can do anything? So I just watched Lewis go over to this guy and just off camera chat to him, convince himself that he was what? You convinced yourself that you were an anarchist?
So Rebel Media is like an online right-wing news source, and Ezra Levant who owns it, I believe, and runs it, was in Australia launching their Australian brand. And I just recognized the logo on the microphone he was holding. I'm like, that guy looks familiar. I didn't know his name at the time. But yeah, I just walked over to him and I talked to Luke. I was like, I've got to do something. And I had literally 20 seconds to prepare. And I walked up to him and I went, hi, my name's Sam. I'm the leader of Antifa. And he goes, well, okay, Sam, would you like to do an interview? And I was like, yes.
He did not do any like background check, whatever. I interviewed Lewis within 3 minutes of knowing him, and I'm just watching it from afar, like, you know, getting some stuff for Instagram because I was like, oh, this will be in the video. So I just start improving as a friend, going like, oh, well, he's going to use this. So I just start filming it, and then like. What I can't believe is, yes, he was like, all right, I'm going to seize the opportunity. And surely after he left, when they got back in the editing, surely he was like, hey, let's check if this guy's legit.
Yeah.
Surely didn't they post it?
I was wearing, right, the Antifa, they're like a left-wing Marxist group. I was wearing a Gucci hat. I'm not the leader of Antifa if I'm wearing a $300 hat.
Yeah.
But
he did not do any. Didn't they?
No
post
research.
They posted.
It was the first story that they ever launched as the launch of their Australian branch of Rebel Media, which is no longer around.
Unbelievable.
And the first story they launched was me hoaxing them as the leader of Antifa. And I remember it went up and all of the comments were just like, this is Lewis Spears. He's clearly bullshitting. How did you not know?
All they could have done is just like ask someone under 25 who works there. That's it. That's all. Do you recognize this guy?
So funny.
Who's fucked with other media in the same country before?
But that's the whole thing about media organizations, because there probably was people under 25 that knew who you were and they was just scared of losing their jobs. So they just let it go.
Probably. But the funny thing about it was he thought it was funny as. He actually took it really well. He came to me and he was like, hey, man, that was our bad. We messed up. You got us. He took it really well. He didn't think it was funny because, it fucked him. But he took it really well. He was like, you got us. We won't let that happen again.
Wow. So they actually learnt their lesson. And so every other media establishment that you've been to, there was no apology, no nothing. It was just business as usual.
Tom Tilley was very angry when I got on Hack. He did a big statement. He was like, it appears they were lying. It's like,
You know what I was very happy about?
That
you got him on Media Watch.
Yeah.
that
was funny.
That is a huge accomplishment.
I'd say
and if I had a hat off, I'd take it off. But what are we going to do?
Me being on Media Watch twice in a row is really not a good look for the media.
Yeah.
Like, no one man should be on Media Watch twice.
No, they should.
Who's not even from the media. This guy got him again.
Media Watch is kind of like a TV commentary channel on YouTube.
I love Media
Like, it's
Watch.
kind of like the
it's
first gen.
yeah.
Like, it's like the original version of like, what's everyone else doing? It's almost gossip, but it's like serious
I think they're
gossip.
like truly in Australia one of the only properly well-researched programs because they have to be because their whole thing is like calling out people who don't
Pretty sure
do research.
Gruen pretty like.
Gruen's good.
I feel like everyone who works in marketing seem to like respect Gruen a lot, but
Yeah,
I don't
that's
watch
true.
it much. Do you watch it?
I didn't even know it was going anymore.
I think they've bought it back. I don't know.
You know the
Will Anderson,
ultimate.
I follow
yeah,
Will
that-
Anderson on Instagram, so I think they bought it back a year ago. I don't know.
I reckon the ultimate media hoax would be to get a fake story on Media Watch. That's one that I always wanted to
Wouldn't
do.
it? Yeah,
But
wow.
I don't know how you
What a
would
feather
do
in
it.
the hat. Yeah. Well, I don't really know like how the whole world works in that kind of field, but it is very impressive to me that you've just kind of become this sort of half-assed punked for like a very specific industry.
You are like, you know what it is? You're like the adult version of Scott Twitty from Prank Patrol. You know? You're like that for teenagers.
Wear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should pop up like
be
a Triple
proud.
J going, prank control.
You and like two ninjas pop out and you're like,
You know what is funny? People keep asking me, "Oh, when are you going to do it again? When are you going to do it again?" I've already done it. I got someone in America. I
do you mean? What
I
happened?
can't talk about it. I got a big news organization in America. We'll find out about that later in the year.
But just promise me this. It's coming up, right?
It's coming up. I'll tell you after this.
I'm very excited. All right, okay. Yeah.
You'll love it. Oh,
Bye-bye
you'll love
with
it
you.
actually because okay. I'll tell you about it later.
Guys, thanks, man. Sorry. I do hate those moments on podcasts. where it's just
Sorry.
like, oh, yeah, no, I forgot. But anyway, yeah.
my
Sucked in.
brain hurts. Can we talk about Love Island again? This is why like the dynamic of this podcast is like everyone's just like they work well together, but why?
Why are they friends?
Like, why are they friends? They have nothing in common. And I think what we have in common is just like
Having
a
nothing in
mutual
common.
interest of just like, what you like sucks. And like, I think what you like sucks. And we go, oh my God, that's so nice.
Most other people will
So
be like,
much not
I
in
hate
common.
that guy. He doesn't like anything I like. But we're like, he's all right. But the stuff he likes is yuck.
Yeah.
So why did you start FriendlyJordies? That's something I've always wanted to ask. Was it to educate people or was it to entertain and then?
Yeah, it was to entertain and then. But the thing was, I started out trying jobs at Today FM and the ABC and just seeing that there was people like slogging for years to get a little 5-minute segment.
Yeah.
And furthermore, there was other people that were extremely untalented. They just had good connections, as in their dad was owed a favor. So they just started moving up and getting all of these incredible
of that.
opportunities. And
Yeah.
that's the whole game, right? And so I was just there. And then on top of that, I don't know if anyone's noticed this, but a lot of Australian content is shit. You know, that like makes it to TV and you have to go. I
I
swear to God-
review it on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I know.
sorry, I don't know why I was
Fully
like
aware.
revealing this to you too.
Yeah.
This huge news epiphany that I've had. But I think that it was just that it started out.
It's like all you got to do is watch one episode of The Block and then realize like, oh, this is the best show.
There was a
that
golden
guy
age.
won the Logie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
His
a
name's
golden
Scotty
age
Cam.
though when we were like 12 to
Rove
15.
was sick.
Rove, Chases War and everything.
Yeah.
It was a very weird thing to think
Spicks and
that like
Specs.
TV
Rove
was
the
cool.
closest thing to like live leak at one point. It was
Yeah.
the edgiest thing there
Yeah.
was.
I used to remember asking like mum and dad to stay up to like watch Hamish and Andy's bits. Like I used
Even
to
Big
love
Brother
that
was
show.
good back then.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
never watched Big Brother, but
Television was great
Yeah.
then, and I don't know what the fuck's happened since.
maybe
do I.
Big Brother just seemed great because it was like we'd never seen that before, and now
Maybe.
that's just like it's saturated. Like the market's just like it's only reality TV.
No, but it was also because it got sanitized. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it took one person to slap a dick on a face and just ruins it for everybody.
Yeah, true. The turkey slap incident.
But MasterChef, think about how big that was at the start. Now I'm never into
Yeah.
it, but then the spin-offs, My Kitchen Rules, and people were just like, "Hey guys, I don't want to watch people cook anymore." Like.
Yeah.
There's during the day you could watch Ready Steady Cook. Then I bet you some other Huey's Cooking comes on at 4, and that you could probably watch cooking on free-to-air TV 5 hours a day if you wanted to.
Watch
If
it
you-
24. SBS Food, man.
Oh, is that actually a thing?
Yeah.
What?
It's
True.
non-stop. It's basically just the three
Shit.
same celebrities over and over again. It's just MILF, Guido, just over and over.
And then
It's
like
great.
Jamie Oliver pops in, plugs his chicken recipe, and then he fucks off.
No, he's too big for that. He's prime
they
time
can't
10.
afford him.
Yeah, yeah. They're not taking him.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that's the whole game, I reckon. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of just this thing of like all the money's going out of it. It's getting, as a result of there just being less money and the fact that you can just do your own thing now. It's most of the talent just moves away from it. I think that you guys were right in the sense that, 10 years ago or whatever, radio was definitely the place where you go, just like how in America, I guess, how it kind of moved from movies to TV. It kind of moved here from TV to radio.
Yeah.
But now I think that it's just kind of, there's too much of like a cabal there. And so that's what was happening with me and ABC. Then after that, I started smoking as a result of saying, like, I hated my life. I had to kill myself a little bit to get up in the day, and go to work. So I went out
What
of that.
job did you have?
I was writing on this piece of shit show. And I don't even care now because I've really napalmed my bridges with the ABC. But fuck, the roast sucked. The roast was fucking atrocious.
What
It was
that?
me. It was basically like, satire of politics, except for it was like run by a Liberal government. So it wasn't satire of politics.
I vaguely remember that show.
You remember? Yeah.
Yeah. So you wrote for that.
I was writing for that. And because I didn't have the right, in or whatever, it was just like, I'd suggest a joke. Everyone would go, no, that's terrible. And then they'd go on with their, objectively atrocious idea.
but you keep getting hired.
I don't
and
get
working
hired.
on the show. So how did you get that job? Like, how do you even get into the ABC? Because you didn't do stand-up. So, how did you become a comedy writer on a show?
Oh, I was just like the classic interning thing of just not going away.
Right.
And then I was just
That's how
thinking
you
I was
get in. Yeah,
accepting that was just going to be my life
Yeah.
of just getting paid nothing and just working there for years.
That's
And
so
Because I
funny
know a
you
lot of
say that.
people write for
A
them.
lot of people in radio and TV are just cunts that didn't go away.
yeah.
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 Why does he work there? Oh, he just wouldn't leave me alone. And now he has a job.
Yeah. So I hired him. So it's like, if you're going to be here, might as well make it worth your time,
But
eh?
to be
You could
honest,
write the ultimate self-help book about trying to get into media, and it'd just be that one point: be very annoying.
yeah,
That's it.
that's definitely what it is.
So when
if
did you
want to, but you
start?
don't have to. Hmm?
What, did you start the same era as Josh and Frenchie and stuff? Or were you 2012? Or
No, and it is the biggest regret of my life. And actually, when did you guys start?
I started 2012. I was a
so
few years
I was
before
late 2015, 2016.
Yeah, see, I think that it's not that we missed the boat, but we missed the first fleet, And just how those convicts got all of Parramatta to themselves.
I don't know
something.
though. I honestly feel like the best time to start is right now because the road is paved.
Yeah, man.
I remember a few years before I started when Alex Williamson was the first cunt doing it regularly. People, even I thought, why would I watch an Australian YouTuber? That's lame. Everyone in my school thought that. And then I started doing it. We had to fight
I remember the
battles.
first time I saw Lucis Aussie Bloke and it made me like comedy.
Yeah.
I'd never really seen that much comedy. That was probably the first, and then I got onto Troy Kinney's channel after that because Troy Kinney.
What year was that?
I was in year 9 and 10, and that's what we used to talk about in school at lunchtime. We used to talk about
Yeah.
Alex's videos.
Yeah,
I
Alex
reckon I was in
that would've
year 10 maybe.
Minting year 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex.
I was
Alex
right
made
at that age
the
where
whole
it was
industry,
like,
I think.
this guy's funny.
Alex made the whole industry that we're working in. He paved that way, I
But
think.
see, here's the thing: did he or did Nat Tran?
Nat
this is the
Tran,
big
another
question.
one. She's really underrated. She's a YouTuber.
Australian?
She's kind of stopped now.
She,
Australian?
yeah, I don't know what she
She's
does.
Australian.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It is
Yeah.
very strange. She has an audience of millions, and it seems that she's always being like, yeah, so I've just got this is like a part-time job, and then I've got my full-time job, so I'm not uploading as much. But why do you have a full-time job?
She was
what I
just
don't
making
get.
funny YouTube videos
right.
and
I think I
some
have heard of her.
sketches.
Yeah.
You would probably know her. But yeah, they kind of paved the way. But what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
I feel like the best time to start now is because the road is paved. It's like what's happening
So-
in Aussie hip-hop. Cursor paved the way. Now the whole young generation are coming up where no one's laughing at Oz rap anymore.
Yeah, that's
and,
true. You
like,
don't.
you
Well,
look
you
at-
don't have to bear the crosses or whatever. But man, I feel like Alex Williamson is set for life now. It just kind of seems like he can just
He's
do.
in culture properly. Like,
Yeah.
he's in
He
people's
could put on a
childhoods.
show at a pub in any town in Australia and fill it.
Yep.
Kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah,
Yep.
like Carl
Yep.
Barron type thing.
Just a little
'cause-
10-second
there's
thing on
positives and
Instagram and
negatives.
just being
Yeah.
like, can't had sex with my cousin, come see my show. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
he'd be done.
But what Lewis was saying though was so Lewis and stuff came up before me. So I was a fan of Lewis, Elliot, Frenchie and Josh Wade and stuff in high school. And then I thought I was too late. And then I came up And then within a year and a half, I had twice the amount of likes as Lewis on Facebook.
Yeah.
Right?
Because I just steered him away from all the mistakes that I made, all the mistakes Frenchie and Alex made.
You know, a bit of advice, or like a lot of advice and steering from Lewis, but also because it was already kind of cool to like. It wasn't even cool to like YouTubers when Lewis was doing it. So he was battling against
Why would I watch YouTube?
But now people are actually looking for people to watch. So when I came around, people were like, "Oh, I like watching people. I'm going to watch you." So then I blew up. And then a best example of the Fairbairn boys, I was pretty big already online. You know, the Fairbairn boys from Adelaide? Yeah. I messaged Lachlan when they had 2,000 likes on Facebook because I'd seen one of their videos. And I was like, hey, man, I think your videos are sick. Look where they are now. 700K on YouTube. So it's like Lewis was here, then I went to here, and they went to here. So the next person is going to keep going, getting bigger and bigger.
Now you look at fucking what Isaac's doing. He went down the highway. That was built
we all still have hardcore audiences and are still building, still growing. Like obviously we're all still growing, but like
now I think it's easier to
skyrocketing. Like everyone has a good year, like their breakout year. That breakout year for everyone seems to be getting bigger. Yeah, I think.
Ooh,
because my breakout year,
I never thought about it like that.
I think Isaac's had the biggest one yet, but someone will beat him. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger every year.
But see, this is the thing with Isaac. He chose a different path to anyone else. Who else is doing that thing of what Isaac does of just trying to find what's trending, instantly commenting on it?
All of us are doing something different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you are, Luke is, I am. Like
we're all doing our different brands or whatever and stuff, but I'm talking about the actual format.
You'll be
the
surprised.
Actual format is different. And we have kind of moved into the Isaac territory because it's kind of just, you are sort of a player in the global trend of what is happening, which is kind of like, I can't even remember his guy, the guy that does those documentaries like, is Jake Paul a sociopath or whatever?
Oh, Shane Dawson.
Shane Dawson. Yeah. Like he kind of just understands the trend of where YouTube is and kind of just knows like where it's building and then just kind of makes it big. You know?
That guy walks funny.
He really does.
I don't know. I don't know. But
that's
maybe.
You guys are like, oh man, how's he like changing the YouTube landscape? And I'm like, look at his hips.
Like a duck.
But what's fun? What's also good is
they should call him Shane Duxon.
That's good.
Yeah. But I think what also
that'd be like fun. See, that's the
I keep talking about ducks. There's so much more important. Whatever I'm going to say.
There's a you two like if you was to make a video about him, right? You two would come in all these hot takes, and like I would come in with Shane Duxon. Like that would be my hot take on it. Like look at the way he
do better than whatever we wrote.
No. I think there is definitely a true indicator of like, I guess I stopped doing that shit because I got an audience and I was like, cool, I just want to do stand up now and do whatever I want, review The Bachelor, just do me. And people who love me just love it. You know what I mean? Like I've got a really cool audience. Like I feel like you two would have much more of a crossover of audiences. There might be some of your fans watching this going like, who am I? You know what I mean? I feel like most people would know who you guys are.
Maybe.
Well, that's the whole thing with everyone's. Because the thing is now, it's just if you were on a platform back before the internet existed, everyone would know who you were in Australia instantly.
Yeah.
Like you got your 5 minutes on the footy show that was going viral in the 90s.
Yeah.
But now it just hits a very different demographic.
Specific
Everybody's
audiences.
very specific, tailored audiences.
Yeah.
And you can tell if you go to anyone's online stand-up shows, who's an online personality, and you see their audience.
Yeah, I went to Superwalk show and I think there was 1,000 people there. I reckon like 3 people came up to me and were like, hey man, like your stuff. And I was like, I'm just not hitting this market. Like apparently
I've got work to do.
Yeah, apparently they're like,
funny.
Apparently Greek people don't watch The Bachelor.
Yeah. It's funny though that
I'm just getting a lot of like white teens, you know, like but you are what you eat, you know, you get in what you put out. So like
exactly, it's always funny. We always talk about it whenever the comedy festival comes around, and all of us who do the online thing and stand up, we'll all be together one night. We'll walk down the street together, like Frenchie, Isaac, me, Fairbairn, Luke, like every one of us down the street. And every time someone will come up to Frenchie and be like, I love you, Frenchie, and then give the phone to me. Can you take a photo for me?
Like they don't even know who Lewis is. And like, you know,
or the other way around, someone will come up to me and they'll be like, oh, bearded guy, can you take a photo? And Isaac will be like, oh, don't you know me? Like, no. But then he'll get it and they won't know me. It's like
it's so weird how little crossover there is. And I feel like we're all quite not similar. You're right. We're all very different. I view us as all similar, but I think that's
I just think we just need to do more shit together, I suppose. That's probably why. Like, there's not... Like, I feel like in America...
Yeah, there is no crossover in Australia, is there? Oh, except for in the makeup world. They really got onto that. Yeah. But that's pretty much it.
That what's her name? Lauren
something. Ooh, what's her name?
3 dudes trying to work out who the biggest makeup YouTuber in Australia is.
Oh, I know her name. It's Lauren something.
Lauren Henshaw is Steph Claire Smith.
I almost said Lauren Southern. It's not her.
Yeah, that's so many people.
It just shows, doesn't it? It shows
going to
what
be
we
like
watch.
commenting this, going like, it's Lauren.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, look
so
up.
anyway, what were you saying? So you were getting into you wish you started earlier, or...
No, I absolutely wish I started earlier. I think it was a complete waste of time to try and go into mainstream media, particularly when I now think about if I was doing what I am doing now, I would be part of a propaganda machine. And I do not want to be that. It is a very evil thing what happens when you start talking about, political satire or news and things like this, because you are essentially pushing out what the elites of society want you to push out. And that is not what is beneficial for the average Australian. And so I like the fact that I now exist in a time where I don't have to play that game. And I think that if I did play that game, I would be a much worse person. And I was like smoking at the beginning. Dude, I would be a meth head now. Like it just it starts
slope.
eating
There's a lot
at
of that
your
around.
soul. It does,
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's kind of different. Like, look, because with you guys, it's great to just get like an audience, a solid audience, and then you're set for the rest of your life. But I am very jealous of people that have a bigger audience and people just kind of go in and out of their life, because I think that would be better for me. Because basically my goal, because I have a very dedicated fan base.
Yeah.
But after a while, they just become an echo chamber because they start seeing your message over and over again. But I want to talk to like 1 million people once. And that's why I'm scared about what happened to Facebook, because they changed the algorithm, and it was because of all the like fake news stuff in the US.
Yeah.
But that's actually a complete lie.
Oh,
like
it's
the
a lie,
vast
for sure.
majority of people, it was basically just that
want
like,
more money.
yeah, it was just Fox, CNN, MSNBC didn't like the fact that they had a monopoly on fake news anymore.
Yeah.
So they completely changed the algorithm. And so like in 2016, a lot of people saw my videos as like, I was the dominant force in politics in 2016. In 2019, it completely reversed. It was just
You
whoever had
absolutely
the
were.
most money.
2016, when I was like for politics, I just watched your shit, and then maybe read a few articles as well.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, I would look up people that disagreed with you, and I'd be like, okay, I think I get my opinion from these two things.
Yeah.
I think that with Facebook changing, like now I've got 110,000 followers on Facebook. I got only 40,000 on Instagram. I'll post the same post on both of those platforms. The one with triple the amount of audience will get 20 likes, and then Instagram will get like 2,000-3,000. And it's the same post, the same fans.
Yeah.
But whatever Facebook has done, it's just killed like organic reach for creators. It's weird.
Yep. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it would have been better if we started this technology earlier. That's what I think anyway. But like, I don't know. You guys are saying it's like the complete opposite. So I could be wrong.
There's
That's just
positives
my
and negatives
feeling
to
on it.
Like I feel like starting now is easier to get a big audience, but you probably won't become like a cultural pillar like someone like Alex Williamson became. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you weren't the first.
But you will get an audience quicker, because I think it sounds really like dorky and old, but the youth of today are like they're not watching TV anymore. So they're actually actively looking, like they're at school. I'm sure they talk about YouTube. You know what I mean? So
No, of course,
So therefore, the next people that come up on YouTube are going to have an audience ready to accept their
and
content.
also,
and
like,
That's true. Yeah.
enormous.
Like what was really good, like especially with Isaac when he first blew up and he was a stand-up comedian, he was doing shows. He just had to go, come and see my show, and everyone went, we see shows when we like people. Whereas I saw like Alex Williamson had to convince people, oh, if you like my online stuff, I do stand-up comedy too, and people go, are those the same thing? Do we see? Are you a comedian?
Now
like,
it's a norm.
Now it's a normal thing.
Most of us do shows.
Okay,
Of
that
like-
makes sense. Yeah.
Of like, you know, now I will have new fans, like new Australian young, like 17-year-old kids going, I love your stuff. When are you doing a show? Like it's normal of like,
Yep.
I watch him online, I
Yep.
see him at a show.
Yep.
Before, I remember when I did my first ever tour in 14, maybe 15. I had to be like, I'm a comedian and I do shows and you should see me. And people would be like, oh, but you do video. Like, you had to change that. It wasn't normal.
Actually, you're right. You're right.
So
that is what happened.
I think the overall point is like the idea of what we do in other people's has the reason why I've benefited coming late is the perception of what I do from the start was different. Lewis had to convince people that he was a comedian. Everyone was like, oh, Luke's a comic because he's friends with Lewis and the other guys. So he must be a comic because they all are. So yeah, I never had to do any of that. My first tour, like I sold great because I was just like,
you were just on a screen and that is TV now.
Yep. Yeah. I was just like, and I uploaded a few stand-up clips to prove that I could do it. And then as soon as people saw like 3 clips, one of them happened to go really well, the VCal one. And after that, I was away. Everyone was like, good, comedian, great. I was the you don't know me guy.
It's like being a computer game.
It's not easy.
I mean, come on. Like, think about being a comedian in the 90s to now.
Yeah, but
I still work like 12 hours a day on it. So
we all do that. But like, man, like I feel so sorry for people in like before the net.
I would have been so frustrated. Yeah. Imagine I would have been.
I don't
think
any of us would have an audience.
I would be the guy like knocking on the radio station door every day. Like I would have been the guy trying to sneak in, handing in my demos. Because I think I would have just taken the online hustle that we all do to whatever was currently getting people known at the time.
Because I did a similar thing where I tried to get in. But I think I almost got to intern at the ABC just through a connection or whatever, and I almost got to intern. It was all set in, and then it just fell through because they had organized someone before me, and I couldn't intern, and it broke my little 18-year-old heart. I was like, no, I'm never gonna get to be a comedian.
I used to call the radio
stations. And then
stations.
I had Facebook as a backup, and I was like, no, well, fuck them. If they're not gonna give me a job, I'll make a job.
Yeah.
And that is the best decision I ever made.
It absolutely is.
Because imagine if I, instead of doing that, I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll get in next year with the next round of interns. And then maybe I got in, maybe I didn't.
Just waiting for some guy in a suit to hand you a career, which is not good. But I used to do community radio out of high school, and I used to call the radio stations. I don't think I've ever told you this. I used to call Fox, get rejected at the reception, and I go, oh, is there any chance to come in? And they're like, no. And now
many people do
now
that.
In hindsight, I realize like being in the building, I'm like, oh, that would never work. But like,
it would never work.
At the time, I was like, I don't know how it works. Should I just call them? The number's on the website.
Yeah.
But
I think that you're the only person who's thought of that.
But I wanted it that bad though.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I feel like I would have. I like to think that even the 90s, I would have made it because I just would have applied myself to whatever thing was currently being. You know what?
Perhaps,
but it was also seemed like pretty lucky.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's easier, but there's definitely more opportunity. I suppose.
Way more opportunity.
It's just you have to make it. I would say even it's you. There's no limit to how many people can make it, but it is harder to make it, I think, because you have to do it yourself as opposed to getting chosen.
Yep. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Yep. But the thing is that, like, okay, back then, pretty much your options to do comedy, you would have had to have, in the vast majority of circumstances, had to have gone to Melbourne University and done reviews there, or Sydney University. True. Or Newcastle, if you go back to the 80s or whatever. But it was essentially 2 places. There was a few exceptions to it. It is pretty amazing that Fairbairn Films... Dude, they own horses. No, but good luck to them.
Same with Alex
back
Lewis.
then.
You know they live out in a farm an hour and a half out of Adelaide.
Huh?
They live in a farm an hour and a half out of Adelaide.
On a farm?
Yeah, that Jackson still lives there. Lachlan lives in the city now. Yeah. Because he's uni and shit. But like... It's just crazy to me that, like, 2 guys from rural... But that's the appeal, though. It's like...
exactly.
I live in
talking
the
to people because it's the same people. Like, if you're just going to Melbourne University and Sydney University, it's a certain way that you see the world and you're just showing that...
Same type of person. Same like, socioeconomic
Like, imagine
status.
a bunch of me's. Oh, I hate me, you know? Like,
no,
imagine hanging out with 400 of me's. Oh.
Yeah. But
it's like, guys, there's only so much Love Island we can talk about.
That's why it's insane whenever you see like ABC put out a big funding thing for like whatever going, we're going to attract the youth of Australia. And then they look out online and they see all of us, people under 30 who have attracted millions of youth and gone, and we're going to employ none of the people who know how to do it. And then they just get people
This is
who
about
graduated
discovery.
from university and they go, this is a show for youth. And they put it on fucking television and then the youth go,
And a lot of them are...
this sucks! Cancel it!
Not even. Most of
And
the,
heaps of them are 38.
Yeah.
dude, most of the youth go, what's a show? Like, most
Yeah.
of them are just like, oh, I didn't hear about it. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, this conversation has been great. It was Lauren Curtis.
Ah, Lauren Curtis.
She's
She's
the
the
big-
There we
makeup.
go.
She's
Yeah,
the big
all
one.
right.
There we
Great.
go. We got it.
Nice to see that this has turned into like a BBC British quiz show at the last second.
Yeah.
It's very, and it's got
That
the
was good.
right, it's got the right like colouring for it as well.
Yeah, what did you say in the car? It looks like a 70s
Game show, and it does.
It really does. Welcome
Yeah.
to Luke and Lewis. Multiple choice.
Yeah, just those hosts that kiss the female audience for a little bit too long. Just like, you ready to play, Dale? Like,
Have you seen that clip? There's a clip of like an unknown game show from the 70s where this dude's really creepy with like children, girls, and like he kisses one of them, and then you can hear in the audience one of the mums go, "You're a creepy old man," and then he just looks at her. Yeah, it's real. I bet I
What?
can find it. You haven't seen this?
No.
It's crazy.
Sounds like it doesn't exist.
I'll
be
see if I
honest.
can find it.
It sounds like a sketch from like a show that has since been cancelled.
Oh, it's being cancelled. And so's the host.
You know, what I mean? It doesn't sound like a real show that's been cancelled. It sounds like a show that thought that would be a funny sketch. Like, all right, so I've got this idea. Like, they're all in the...
Oh,
like,
got it.
You've been in a writing room before. Like, all right, guys, I've got it. And they're like, yeah, go. That's the kind of shit they would put on it.
Got it.
All right. Does there
Where's
volume
the
on it?
sound?
is that Daryl Summers?
I don't know. Oh, no.
Oh, like the guy from...
It looks like Daryl Summers.
Is
It's
your
American.
ringer
But I
on?
suppose everyone just looks like that in the 70s, didn't they?
Why is... Okay. What?
And it is the same background.
Do you talk about getting married and having a family and things like that? No. You don't? What do you do when you're 11 years old for a date? Where do you go? What are some things you do?
We just walk home from school with each other.
Oh, you walk home from
Go on a
school with
date?
each
She's
other.
11.
Okay, what category? Do you hand out kisses, Jennifer?
Not good.
I was on the lips. That's like...
On television. And there's one in this, it's too gross to watch, but there's one in this compilation where a mum goes, "Dirty old man," and it went to air. Gross. Not
Well,
good.
that's a good way to end. All right. Well,
Yeah, what?
thank you for that,
Thanks.
Lewis.
I thought I would brighten it up. Thought I'd brighten it up. We should do celeb spots.
Yeah,
We'll do
what the
celeb spots.
fuck?
Sorry, everyone.
Come in here like, hey, have you seen this video of the pedophile? No? Oh, okay,
Man,
great. I'll show it to you on a podcast.
I'm obsessed with all of
With
that
pedophiles?
shit. Yes, I am. Jeffrey Epstein, they murdered him in prison and he's going to get away with it.
Right. Do
Are
you reckon
you
they should...
obsessed with
It is
this?
the perfect microphone to yell that into as well. But yeah, I agree. Of course they did.
Yeah. I just think
Anyway,
that it's
well,
crazy.
yeah.
Guys,
okay.
I think
much.
Chelsea's just going to win it. You know,
Yeah,
like...
she probably
there's-
will. And we
it's-
need those TV shows so we forget about the pedophile cult that's
Yeah.
in Hollywood.
I just think... Abby's no good, you know?
Yeah. Anyway, should we do celeb spots and we'll wrap it
That's
up?
what happens. If someone
Probably.
asks me, like, what do you think of Jeffrey Epstein? And I'm like, I just don't think Matt's making some good decisions this year. I just completely ignore it. I'm like, but Osher's hosting's been great. And they're like, what? I'm like, shut the fuck up. I don't care. Do you want to do celeb spots?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, celeb spots, guys.
the intro.
Oh, do you have the intro? Oh, you haven't put it on the thing, have
I'll try.
you? It's a great intro. It's actually worth waiting for. I mean, anything's better than what we just watched.
That's very true.
I know. What a palate cleanser.
Why don't you explain celeb spot to all of the new
So,
listeners?
celeb spots, for anyone new who may be listening, is a regular segment we do where we all love seeing celebs out in the wild, right? Yeah, everyone gets a kick out of it. But we do celeb spots. We judge celeb spots on this podcast on 3 different categories. We see the celeb, who the celebrity is, like the level of fame, and what they were doing. The more obscure, the better.
Yeah.
Pretty much all 3 categories.
So we don't want like, oh, I saw a soccer player in the airport. Boring. That's where you
They're
would
always at
expect to see a
airports.
celebrity.
Yeah.
That's boring. Or like, oh, I saw Dave Hughes at a footy game. Sure. That's where you're going to see him. All right.
Yeah.
We want to see
Loves footy.
like obscure celebs.
Dave Hughes
in
at the
obscure
ballet.
places.
Now that's
That's a good one.
That's a headline.
Yeah.
You know. So have you got the intro?
Yes. So this is celeb spots.
If you're seeing a person you know, and they're doing something
I like it.
Good.
you know the look and
self-conscious here,
the
though.
show.
Can't stop singing.
Talk about it.
I don't even know what he says.
He said, and they'll talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. So he literally just described the segment.
Yeah. So great.
That's the
celeb
best intro you
spot.
could possibly ask.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any celeb spots?
I've got two.
Yeah.
One of them you're just going to dismiss outright. And then the other one, I can't mention specifics about it because I'm scared I get killed.
Okay.
So-
Great.
Great.
Do we do this or
Yeah,
do we keep going?
I mean,
Did
don't
you
know.
see Jeffrey Epstein leaving the prison while
I
they?
basically saw the Australian version of that. Yes.
Okay.
So the first one, I'll just get that one
Did you
out of
see
the way.
Rolf
Like-
leaving the prison?
That's good.
all right. So the first one is Guy Sebastian.
Awesome.
Oh, actually, well, I've got three. Yeah, first of all, I bumped into Malcolm Turnbull once when he was yelling at his assistant.
Okay. What about?
He was yelling about, I don't know, because it was very early in the morning. And
Yeah.
I was just taking my morning walk to just
by the
clear my
way,
head.
for overseas people may be tuning in, that is our former Prime Minister.
One of the former
One
prime
of-
ministers.
Just
one
so
of
you
many.
know, yep.
Okay.
Extremely rich man as well. Just some fun trivia. Again, I'm
They're
just
all rich.
obsessed with this yellow. It's doing something to my brain. But
We need
Yeah,
It's
ding sound
orange.
effects.
It definitely is doing something to your brain
colorblind.
because it's not yellow.
Yeah.
it's halfway there.
Yeah.
So I was walking down there. He was yelling at some assistant, being like, Samantha, you've put me in an awful position. No, I don't want to do that, and now I have to. So thank you very much for that. It was the first thing in the morning as well. So it was like 6:30.
Yeah.
This poor woman, the first thing she gets is one of the most powerful men on earth abusing her. And so, anyway, so I was just like, who is that? And then I turn around, and right at that point, I bump into Malcolm Turnbull. And honestly, his response was this. Like, he shrunk away like a lord from the 1800s bumping into one of his servants.
That's awesome.
You know that moment in
Oh, man.
Elysium where that extremely rich guy kind of just breathes a
seen it.
bit of the oxygen on Earth, and so he blasts himself back to, the spaceport so he can cleanse himself?
That's so funny.
That is what I imagined happened to him after that. He was that offended
Bumped it into a
that
commoner.
some commoner dare touch
Yeah, he
him.
probably has like no struggles in his day. Like where that was like that was probably a dinner table story that night at the Turnbulls. You'll never guess what happened this morning. So I was yelling at my assistant, and then this middle class white boy came up to me, and he was wearing jeans, not a suit, and
Touch.
and he goes, and then I went, and he probably does it again, like.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, the previous struggle before that was he was going to a dinner which I'm sure cost thousands of dollars that he didn't want to go to. That was
Yeah.
the thing that he was upset about before that moment.
Oh, I must have free lobster. Ugh. That's annoying.
That's funny.
Stuff
Yeah, and
with
what's the other
diamonds.
one?
Oh, okay. And then the other one, I was just like, I bumped into Guy Sebastian again. I've bumped into two celebrities in my life. That's great. I was in physical contact with
Yeah.
both of them. And it took me a moment to realize it was Guy Sebastian because
Was
he was
this
doing
Afro
that
Guy
classic.
Sebastian or
This was
modern?
Afro Guy
Oh.
Sebastian.
Classic.
It was actually
Just
when
after
was
Idol?
this?
just after Idol.
Oh,
Ooh.
Guy Sebastian in peak form. Just before he realized that he might not top it.
And he was very scared of the new fame that he acquired as well
Yeah.
because he was wearing the glasses and, just trying to make himself look as
Yeah.
normal as possible by making himself look like a sex
And he
pest,
also had just committed a robbery on national television as well from Shannon Knoll.
True.
So
Yeah.
did he get hated at the time for that, or has that
I
become
don't
a
think
thing
so. I think
years
that was
later?
a meme. I feel like that's like one of those things. It's now a false memory that we feel like he was cheated.
Yeah, but at the time, everyone was like, "Oh, well, Guy Sebastian is pretty talented." So and he doesn't have a goatee. Oh, actually, he did. They both had goatees.
Yeah.
Jeez, that was what a crazy era of television where the two
Two
finalists both had goaties.
If you had
I
a
reckon
goatee
he might
now,
have.
you wouldn't make it past auditions.
You wouldn't make it into the building. They'd be like, "Get out of here, weirdo." Hang on, I'm gonna look up Guy Sebastian. What was the year? Do you reckon? Guy Sebastian. I'll just look up Australian Idol.
This is pretty impressive that you even remember they have a goatee.
Are you guys locking it? Oh,
this
Nosey
is
definitely
Luke.
has.
Oh, no, of course. Yeah, everyone remembers that.
I
This is why
reckon-
Luke knows nothing about politics because his mind's filled with like what celebrity.
That is a
contestants-
goatee.
That's a goatee.
That's a goatee. I told you. It's like I know nothing about.
That is an amazing spot as well.
I know nothing about
Jeez, he had
Australian
a big
politics, but
glow.
I know exactly what was on Guy Sebastian's chin in 2003.
Is it crazy? It's like you're one of those people that's obsessed with the Kennedy assassination and knows every detail about it.
Yeah.
But it's just Australian TV.
It's like the saddest existence of all time.
And then,
That's
yeah,
a
the
good
other
one.
one. All right, so let me just
Oh,
get
what
this
was
one.
Guy
because so many-
Sebastian doing?
He was walking down the street.
He was being scared of his
okay.
fame.
Yeah, he was being scared of his fame
Okay.
as well. And when someone bumped into him again, he looked visibly upset.
What
about
noise
that.
did he make when you bumped into him?
No, I just said, "Oh, sorry," and then he was like, "It's all right," and just kept going.
That's
he,
good.
He was scared.
So he did a mild Turnbull.
Yeah.
He went, oh, that's all right.
Maybe
yes,
you,
but he wasn't. He wasn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was for
Maybe you
different
just have,
reasons.
He
like,
did a
yeah.
middle class.
maybe you just have a very intimidating walk.
Have you ever thought
Maybe,
you're the
maybe,
problem?
yeah, maybe you're just mistaking me for Shane Dawson. I don't know. It could be that.
Big duck. And your third spot. Or should we do a fan and then we'll do Jordan's last one?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I won't hog this segment.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Sometimes we don't have any. I've got
like,
none this
I
week.
usually curate them, but I'm just looking up celeb spots in the emails today because Keelan's not here and I'm not going to do my job. So this one came in from Tabby. That's a name.
Has a cat emailed us? Welcome to the show. Would you like some kibble, Tabby?
This says, hey boys, when I was at school during my free period, I looked out my window to the sidewalk at the front of my school and saw Hugh Jackman taking a walk. About 45 minutes later, he walked back past again. Wonder what he went and did.
That's a big
That's
walk.
basically two celebrities.
I mean,
I'd
order.
say that's 10.
Double
Seeing
the
Hugh
Jackman.
Jackman twice.
Yeah, okay,
It's
right.
10.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That is good.
All
I
right, well,
wonder
he
what
is a
was doing.
triple threat, so it's minimum 6. It's all right.
Saw him twice.
Saw him
Yeah.
twice.
And he
Good
was
for her.
Wolverine.
Is this the whole segment? This is all right. I
Sometimes
like
this
this.
segment is great, and sometimes it's just, I saw you Jackman.
Yep, this one. Actually, most of the time
This
it's
is
that.
great. This is like it's a conversation I've had with my auntie. This exact conversation.
It really is.
That's
yeah.
the appeal. People are like, it's familiar. I like it. It's not good, but it's familiar. All right. All right. This one comes in from Taylor.
Yeah.
I work at Coles in Baronia. During
it.
night shift, and about a month ago, I saw Bryn Edelston shopping with her new biker boyfriend. He was very scary looking. Sent from my Huawei phone.
My
How do you pronounce
Huawei?
that? Is it Huawei? I don't know how to pronounce that shit.
You away.
How would you pronounce
man.
But I know it now. I can't not. But I can see where you're coming from. You know, like I'll give you props for
Hey,
that.
man, I used to call Peugeots Pugots. All right, I don't read. Okay, Bryn
We've
Edelston.
met Bryn
Yeah, so we
She's
used to have
very, very rough hands.
she has sandpaper hands.
That was the most shocking thing about
Our
Bryn.
friend-
I don't know.
So a guy
Smoking?
a guy
Nah,
we
a lot of
know
this.
used to date her.
Jesus.
So we know what an ex. We know the guy dated her after she dated Jeffrey
Yeah.
or married Jeffrey. Why does she have his last name still? Are they not divorced?
Oh, true.
Isn't Jeffrey Edelston? Isn't that his name?
No, wasn't he
Oh.
called something else? Jeffrey something?
You're asking the wrong guy.
Yeah.
I don't
like
know.
you would know this. He was like some rich dude. Oh,
It's
well.
probably Jeffrey Curtis.
Probably.
Oh, that was a shit callback. I shouldn't have said it. Because like the Lauren Curtis. Fuck you guys.
No, you had to go. That's fine.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
fine. I had a
anyway.
crack. Oh, this one's too long. I'm not reading that. I read the word NRL. Don't care. Oh, this one's good. This is the last one we'll
Just
do.
says NRL wife punch.
Yeah, this one came in from Shredder365 Conway. Hey, man, change your name. One time I saw Jack Black holding 7 bagels in a line to get pizza at a pizza place. Hang on.
And then
7
getting pizza.
bagels in a line to get pizza at a place that was going bankrupt. So maybe he was just trying to help out the
stock up.
place. Yeah.
That's so much bread for
Such
one
a
man.
desperate man.
No,
7
but why was he
bagels and
holding-
a pizza.
So he's already got 7 bagels in the line. Then he's like, oh man, I've only got 7 bagels. I could use some pizza.
That's
why was
crazy.
he acquiring more food?
This is why when Celeb Spots gets good.
This
It's like,
one it gets
why was
crazy.
he doing that?
you gotta investigate as to why Jack Black wanted more pizza, wanted more bread-based food.
I have a theory.
Yeah.
He has 7 bagels, right? He's lining at the pizza shop not to get pizza. He was going to get to the front of the line and be like, hey, you guys are going bankrupt, yeah? Why don't you make me some pizza bagels? Fuck it, let's go out with a bang. And he gives them all the bagels, gets back 7 pizza bagels, eats them all in one sitting.
Right, and that's probably why they're bankrupt. Because
it is just an
advice.
extremely baller version of being in high school and the fat rich kid constantly getting pizza rounders and then maybe getting 2 to buy it off.
There you go.
That's the difference between the kid at high school and being an international celebrity. About 5 pizza bagels. It's not huge.
It's not huge, but it's considerable gap.
There.
You know, it shows it's
hate is
Wealth
bad.
bagel gap.
Guys. You could really say it's a wealth disparity. Now that was a cracking callback. I'm back.
Semi-con Luke learns.
If you see
The
a
whole
person,
podcast, you see me developing as the episodes go on. You see my personal
And
growth.
then the next episode, he's back at square one because he watched The Bachelor that night.
Such a scary thought, Lewis just being your teacher.
Not good. Just filling up with conspiracy theories about Jeffrey Epstein. All right, what's your last
Did you want to tell you one? And then
Yeah, all right. Well,
one you're not
God,
allowed
I'm
to
going to have to
tell.
bleep so many names here, but pretty much, let me just say that...
You
can
bleep
bleep
them
the
because I
names.
can't be bothered bleeping them.
Oh, you bleep him if you want, yeah.
All right, let me just try and think about how I'm going to do this. It's got to be actually quite an obvious story when I say it, but I'm still just going to do it.
Are we talking about bikey celeb spot or a criminal? Is that what you don't want to say?
Yeah,
Criminal?
well, it's half...
Known
You're
criminal.
halfway there already.
Okay.
Cool.
Known criminal, celebrity criminal. Anyway, the
That's
thing is,
a fucking
it was
well-delivered.
actually, it was the most Matrixy moment of my life. It was just this like, follow the rabbit girl. This was before I had a girlfriend, just so you know too. But the thing was, there was this girl that came up and just started chatting up to me at this bar. And she took me to this club that I've never been to in my life. And I live in Sydney. I used to go to King's Cross a lot. And there was just this one backdoor nightclub. And you knew it must have been elite because the guy that was the bouncer, he looked like a judge on Australia's Next Top Model. It was just like a really bitchy 40-year-old gay man that was dressed in like Gucci and shit. So
And
it was
he
like
was like
a
the key
door
holder.
bitch / bouncer in one person.
If the bouncer's gay, it's a good club. It's a good club because there's no fights, right?
Yeah.
And there's and lots of tolerance, so it's great.
And he can
heaps
sort
of
it out
coke.
with words. And that's often more threatening.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to...
Because rich people won't fight because, you know, they'll get sued. But if you
Rich people go,
my self-esteem. Stop it, Gary.
And I walked in there and it was sort of like that club in Blade, except blood didn't come out of the ceiling. But it was everything before that. It had a very satanic vibe. It had like really heavy techno beats. It looked sick. It was amazing in there. And there was all these Australian C-grade celebrities.
like Home and Away, Neighbours.
Malcolm Turnbull.
We're getting too close, but
Okay.
you know, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm walking
I feel like
in.
you're in a cult and you're just trying to avoid saying
You guys don't like Tom Cruise?
He just walked onto the set of Neighbours. Like, hey, Toadie, what's up?
It was just the bar. It was the bar.
Yeah, just the bar. But when they stop filming, they turn it into a
I'm
bar.
just in an episode of Neighbours and I don't know it. And then, but I was like walking past and I was seeing all of that. There was all this heavy German techno music. I'm walking past this, and then she goes, "Do you just want to come into this room for a second? It's fun." So I walk in. There is one of the former hosts of a Nickelodeon show tucking into this huge bowl of Coke, like basically by herself.
A bowl.
Dude, like when I'm saying
Like a
bowl,
bowl-
right,
here's the
like
thing,
you're imagining like this, yeah? Like it was like one of those fucking fruit bowls. It was just because it was like an
rock bowl.
unbelievably rich club, right?
It's like now, like cocaine, like often in movies, right? You see people, you see it on a plate. Flat. You don't need a curvature to store that.
Yeah.
Like how much cocaine?
If it's concave, that's a lot of Coke.
Like, why do you need like a deep thing to store your cocaine?
I don't know. I purely think it was because of the aesthetic. It was just to
I wanna
intimidate
know-
people as soon as they walk
I
in.
want to know if that was the nightclub's coke or she walked in with a bowl.
This is BYO, right? Yeah, this will get me through.
What's the bowl for? The kids.
Yeah, go.
A bowl. of
God,
coke.
yeah. I don't think Nickelodeon pays that well. And so I was like, and the thing was, yeah, I was there. I was in that room with that happening, just like the sound of the beat just went doof, 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 doof. And then she's just like, oh, hey, so-and-so. This other guy walks in. Dude, it was like a huge criminal boss lord that just walked through the fucking door with this Nickelodeon celebrity there and this chick. And the chick that I was going with, and I thought that, like, we were going to get together that night or whatever. Nope, she goes straight to the criminal, starts making out with him. In between that, he's just like, yeah, just help yourself, man. And I just go, oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, maybe I'll come back later. And I just run away. It was
Too
it was
hectic.
one of the most, it was too much.
Yeah.
It was too much.
I've been in those
shit
situations where
happening.
you're like, I don't mind a bit of danger, but this is too hectic for me. Leave.
Yeah, Lewis hangs out with like, some people call them rappers. I call them criminals.
You can be both.
Yeah.
You can be both.
Criminals that rhyme.
Yeah, some of them are rhyming crims.
Look, let's just say, whenever I go to Sydney and hang out with my friends, I'm always thinking, is tonight the night I get charged with like accessory and I've got
the thing.
no idea I'm committing a crime?
You were like you surround yourself with like people who I wouldn't just like. I don't even know how you meet these people. How did you ingrain yourself in this culture? Because you're like quite an introvert in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yet you go to Sydney and you're like an underworld figure.
How?
You know, I've had dinner with Roberta Williams.
What? What happened?
Could you be saying that on a podcast?
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I don't care.
As long as you don't care.
I had dinner with Roberta Williams once. She didn't know me. I was just, a few of my friends that I knew her.
Oh, I
And
know the story.
I was with my friends, and then later on, like, oh, we're having dinner. Do you want to come to TGI Fridays? I'm like, yeah, I love TGI Fridays. And I rock up, and her whole family's there. I'm like, oh, this might be one of those situations where I should leave.
Did you?
No.
No.
I was at TGI Fridays, and they were
But you know
paying.
what? Was she a legend?
She was lovely.
Yeah, I reckon
she
she
was a
would be.
lovely, lovely woman.
Yep.
And so was her whole family, and it was a
Yep.
great
Her whole
night.
family?
One of them wasn't there, but the
Yeah.
rest of them were absolutely lovely.
Yes. Well,
And that about wraps
this is
it up.
heavy. This got
I mean,
really heavy.
we were trying to
towards the end,
move on from
We were
the
almost
pedophile
leaving on a
video.
high, and I dragged us back into the hole.
Twice.
Well, thank you very much for coming on the podcast,
No, I
Jordan.
appreciated it.
Yeah,
It was
make
fun.
sure you check out Jordan on tour. How many shows do you have left? Where are you going next?
They're all sold out. You can't.
Are they?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well
Thank you,
done.
thank you.
How many
Well, I've
shows
got-
did you do in Melbourne?
Ugh, God, at this time I've just done 3, but like when I was in the Melbourne Comedy Festival, I don't know, 20 or something.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And did you feel like most of them?
Yep.
That's great.
All of them except for like Sunday night or something like that.
Was that-
But
that's
it.
crazy.
At
That's
the
really
Lithuanian
good.
Club?
Yeah.
Wow. Well done.
Yeah.
Plug
Is it?
This Friday.
Oh, we added the extra. Yeah, the extra one. Yeah, Friday. It's
You're in
not
Melbourne.
going to be out by then, is it?
Yeah, I'll be out
Yeah,
tomorrow.
be out tomorrow.
Hell yeah. Okay.
So in a few days. So where can they get tickets?
I don't know.
Google it. I love that. I love that. Whenever anyone asks me, we're going to get tickets, I don't know. Use the internet. How are you messaging me? You Googled me to message me.
It's like if you're already consuming this podcast, you're connected to something. Like,
Work
right?
it out.
Work
No,
it out.
of course, yeah.
Figure it out.
And I'm going to be in Brisbane on Friday and Saturday. Biggest shows of my career. Tickets are going crazy. You can get them wherever the fuck you get tickets. Google it.
And also,
Start the trend.
my comedy special premiere screening, Melbourne, is on sale now, October 3rd. Hey, look it up.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're lucky you even got the date.
Yeah. I've already given you too much information. You can figure out the rest for yourself.
All right,
'Cause I don't
Jordan.
know it.
Thank you very much for joining us, mate.
No
It was a
worries.
lot of fun. I'd
you.
love to have you back sometime soon.
Cool.
And I'll try and make it to the show on Friday.
Thank
That
you.
was Luke and Lewis. Goodbye.
That was a weird end.
That was the only end we're going to get. I brought it down one more time.